Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Burke, and today we're going to be talking about famous people that are now not famous. That makes sense. When you hear these people's names, your reaction might be, oh yeah, them, wow. What happened to them? Sometimes they intentionally leave the celebrity spotlight, and other times their fame just kind of slipped through their fingers. This is the top 10 celebrities who lost their fame. In at number 10, we have Vanilla Ice. In the early 90s, Vanilla Ice was one of the world's biggest megastars thanks to Ice Ice Baby. His album, To the Extreme, became the fastest selling album of all time and spent a whopping 16 weeks at the number 1 spot. In 1990, he even dated Madonna, pretty much solidifying him as Hollywood royalty. However, in 1993, he took a break, and when he came back, it was never really the same again. His second album was a complete flop, and Vanilla Ice is now probably more famous for appearing on lists like this. Next up at number 9, we have Freddie Prinze Jr. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Freddie Prinze Jr. seemed to be in about a movie a minute. Whether it was I Know What You Did Last Summer, to She's All That, Scooby-Doo, and a reoccurring role in Friends, he seemed to be everywhere. Since then though, he's been pretty much off the radar except for a role in the hit series 24 in 2010. It seems like this was quite an intentional move on his part though. He married his Scooby-Doo co-star Sarah Michelle Gellar in 2002, and the couple appeared to have chosen a quiet family life. Nice. Next up at number 8, we have 50 Cent. When rapper 50 Cent released his debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, in 2003, it was described as probably the most hyped debut album by a rap artist in about a decade. This is because even before his first album, Eminem and Dr. Dre had already promoted him as the next big thing in rap, and they weren't wrong. The album went on to sell 15 million copies, and the single In the Club was the most listened to song in radio history in its first week. 50 Cent released a number of successful albums after that, but nothing really seemed to surpass that debut album. His most recent 2 albums only sold a combined 400,000 units. 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy in 2015 to the amount of $32.5 million. Coming in at number 7, we have Haley Joel Osment. In the 90s, Haley Joel Osment was the kid that seemed to play every kid in anything that had a kid in it. He played Forrest Gump's son, he was the main character in Steven Spielberg's AI movie, and most famously played the role of Cole, the boy in The Sixth Sense who sees dead people. Age 15, he took a break from acting to get through things like college and puberty, but when he came back, it was a bit too late. He had become typecast as that cute kid with the catchphrases and has struggled since as an adult to make it back into the industry. Next up at number 6, we have Tara Reid. Tara Reid is most known for her roles in the American Pie movies, The Big Lebowski, and a whole host of other smaller roles in the early 2000s. But apart from a reoccurring role in Scrubs, Tara hasn't really reached the same heights of her former success. Hollywood journalists say the acting roles started to dry up for her because of excessive partying and a few botched surgeries, leaving her career on the ropes. Moving on to number 5 now, we have Seann William Scott. We're going from one American Pie star now to another for this one. Seann is most famous for playing Stifler in American Pie. Now unlike Tara Reid, he did have a bit more success in the 2000s with appearances in Final Destination, Dude Where's My Car, The Dukes of Hazzard, and Role Models. Unfortunately, he seems to suffer from being typecast. There has been a common theme among all the characters he's played. Basically, he's good at being a loud jock. He's also been very private about his personal issues and relationships, which is an admirable thing for some people, but Hollywood seems to get quite bored of private celebs quite quickly. Next up at number 4, we have Tila Tequila. She shot to fame after appearing on a magazine cover because she had a lot of MySpace friends in 2005. I'm not making that up, that's actually what happened, that's why she's famous. 2 years later, she starred in MTV's A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila, which involved her dating 16 men and 16 women who would compete for her love. The twist was that none of them knew she was bisexual. After that, she kept her fame hanging on by a thread thanks to a sex tape, a few bad songs here and there, an appearance on Celebrity Big Brother. The only time she's made headlines in recent years has been her proud support for Hitler and anti-Semitism. Many people aren't sure if this is a cry for attention or if she is actually now a Nazi. Okay, moving on to number 3 spot now, we have Lil Kim. Lil Kim was once one of the most famous rappers in the world. Her 1996 debut album went double platinum with 3 number 1s. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, she continued to smash many different records and pick up a whole bunch of Grammys and music awards for her music. For many people, Lil Kim kind of helped pave the way for female rappers such as Missy Elliott and Nicki Minaj. But as the years went on, others seemed to take her place as the queen of rap, with Lil Kim making more appearances on reality TV than actual albums. Next up at number 2 we have Matt LeBlanc. He's most famous for playing Joey in the hit series Friends. For 10 years, from 1994 to 2004, Friends was one of the biggest comedy shows on the planet. It helped launch the acting careers of many of the main cast. For example, Jennifer Aniston went on to become a huge Hollywood star, but the only person to get their own TV show right after Friends finished was Matt LeBlanc, where he continued to play Joey in the show called Joey. The show had very poor ratings, and Matt LeBlanc faded into obscurity in the US. He re-emerged in the UK in 2016 as one of the hosts of car show Top Gear, but now has a shadow of his former fame. And finally now, at number 1, we have the one and only Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was already famous in the late 80s after a number of hit movies, and by the 2000s he had made the transition to television with his award-winning role in Spin City. Then he starred in 2.5 Men, the wildly popular series that ran for 12 seasons. At one point, he was the highest paid actor on television, earning $1.8 million an episode. That's crazy. But his fame quickly shifted from TV stardom to alcohol and drug abuse. He was fired from 2.5 Men in 2011. Over the next few years, he made headlines for a very public breakdown that included a number of quite bizarre rants on the internet. In 2015, he publicly revealed he was HIV positive and has since almost completely retracted from the Hollywood spotlight, with many of his fans wondering about his current physical and mental state. Well, there you have it, guys. Those were some former famous people, famous for being formerly famous, I think. Did you agree with the list? Did I miss anyone good out? You guys might have a really good one that I just forgot because they've managed to lose so much of their fame that I couldn't even find them. On a final note, I do obviously respect people who choose to have a more private life. Just want to make that clear. So anyway, shall we do a part 2 of this? In the meantime, thanks as ever for watching Most Amazing Top 10. Be sure to check out some of our other videos. My name is Danny Burke, and I'll see you all in the next video.